I've been on Twitter since, well, not exactly when it started, but long before anybody knew what Twitter was, and certainly long before social media was a buzzword. And so I have a few followers, just past 100,000 a few weeks ago. Very grateful for any retweet that you do of mine, at Chris Pirillo or at Lockernome. I catch everything, believe me. Even when you tweet one of the videos that we do on YouTube, it shows up on Twitter. So I am very grateful for that kind of I guess, interactivity. So I have a tweet here. Let me see if I can hold it at an angle because I've got my brightness setting attuned to my eyes, not the camera's eyes. This is from Matthew Sabia, who is a former Know-Me of the Day. And he asks, what tips do you have for selling a year-old PC desktop? Now, I've got a few ideas of my own, and I'm going to go ahead and turn to the YouTube community. I mean, you can comment below in the video segment, or if you're watching it live, I'm going to be reading your answers and incorporating it in this general response. It's a challenge, really, to sell any kind of used PC. It's almost worse than a car. You drive it off the lot and it's already worth a fraction of what you paid for it. So PCs are kind of in the same league. There's so many PCs out there that you buy one that's awesome today, and a year down the road, the specs may still be fine, but you would try to sell it for less than what you spent originally. Of course, you probably wouldn't try to sell it for more, but no one wants a used computer. It's just as affordable to go and buy a new computer as it is to sell a used computer. S4MTW says eBay. That is a good suggestion. Apple 99 Man says upgrade the RAM. So that's one thing that I was going to suggest, and thank you. I'm glad we're thinking the same way, at least as far as that answer is concerned. You may have to upgrade the PC to sell the PC. It's got to compete with a new PC that is going to be very competitive in price. Who would buy a used PC? That's what you have to think about. You may want to target your who you're selling it to a group of people that are looking for refurbished units, older units. eBay, for example, is a great place, or Craigslist. But in terms of how to sell it, you've got to make some compelling arguments, or you just got to understand that when you buy that PC, you're not going to be able to sell it as easily as you were able to buy it. And even Par Techful says, find a market that would seem interested. For example, don't target professionals because they wouldn't take up the offer. That's exactly what we're saying. I'm glad, we think along the same lines. And another thing that you might just consider is when you buy a PC, don't necessarily just buy it for upgradability, because certainly there are, PCs out there that aren't as easily upgradable as others. Laptops or notebooks, for instance. Thomas David Allen suggests ask a family if they're looking for a PC. That is a great recommendation. Now, your family, you may say, well, why are you selling me the PC? Why don't you just give it to me? You're my brother or cousin or father or son or whatever. You could offer it to close friends and family. You could then offer with it something beyond the PC. And I think this is, got to think beyond the beige box. If anybody buys beige box PCs anymore. In my day, that's all we had was a beige. We didn't even have a box. We just had a whole bunch of components and just strung them together in a baggie. It wasn't that bad. But think of what else you can throw in there. So look around your room right now. There's some software that didn't come with the PC that you bought. You bought a new version, but the old version's still fine. So what you can do is bundle that old version of software that you have, or maybe even the old license, as long as it was legally attained with all the paperwork, and sell it. And say, well, it's already installed on the PC. I've already just reformatted Windows Clean, which you got to make sure you do, especially if you give away an old PC or sell it. You want to zero out that drive, use dban, Derek's Boot and Nuke. You can download it. I think it's still on SourceForge, or should be, and wipe out that drive and reinstall Windows for that person. Give them things that didn't come with a PC that you have laying around that are not worthless, but not as not worth as much as they were when you originally got them, and you put that together as a package, and it's like, oh, well, I could buy this new PC or this old PC for, you know, less money, but it also comes with a bonus of all these other things that he's throwing in a digital camera that's also used in and this set this and this, and you put together a package. And I think that is the biggest suggestion I would have for how to sell a used PC. Make it a bundle. I mean, the stores do it all the time. Why not you? I don't know. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop me a line, chris@perlo.com. We also have lockergnome.net. I am scanning at least Twitter, and the good questions that come up we may be able to answer in future episodes here. But I don't know what else you want other than another video, which you're free to watch. At least I hope you're wanting to watch another video we do.